is in the waiting for. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
But yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah,
This is a
no,
very
I'm
chill, fun
loving it.
time.
So, this is Cthulhu, if you guys don't know. And their presentation is SCP Collaborative Fiction at its peak. And you can go ahead and start presenting and just let me know when to click through.
So, hello, my name is Cthulhu. Twitch.tv/whoiscthulhu, youtube.com/@whoiscthulhu. I do things and I make things. I am here today to talk to you about SCP. SCP is one of those things that a lot of people have probably heard of, but most people probably don't quite know what it is. It's always been sort of
It's me. I don't
just
know.
um
Heck.
so who am I? Click. My name my name is Cthulhu. I'm a streamer. I'm a musician. I majored in commercial music. Oh no,
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
there will be a delay, but I'll go.
Okay, yeah.
I'll always save it. Don't worry.
I'm a polymer clay sculptor. Yeehaw.
That's fun.
I'm a poet. I'm an award-winning college journalist. I design sprites for Pokemon fan games. But today, most importantly, I am an SCP author and content creator.
Hell
If you want
yeah.
to go to the next slide, I wrote I wrote 3 successful SCP articles. You can see my name there by @whoiscthulhu. I've also written 4 successful prose or poetry articles on the wiki.
Yeah.
I also have a series on YouTube called SCP Book Club, where I sort of break down SCPs from a literary perspective, talk about how they're written. So, with all of that said, you might be thinking, what the fuck is SCP? What are you talking about? What are these letters? So it's a collaborative writing project. It's focused around the fictional SCP Foundation. Basically, think Men in Black, think The X-Files, think Sanctuary, think any sort of fictional, shadowy organization that locks up the things that don't belong in our reality. They secure, contain, and protect, which is what SCP stands for. They're very militaristic, very paternalistic, very authoritarian in how they go about this. They wipe people's memories if they see these things. They do very inhumane tests on these things. It's very dark. It's yeah. Each SCP is written as like a scientific document. They're all written as though they are the in-universe containment procedures for each of these things. So they have an item number, they have containment procedures, they have descriptions. Sometimes they'll have interviews, exploration logs, experiments, that kind of thing. Often written in this very sort of detached, very clinical, like you're reading a scientific paper, which when they're talking about, Lovecraftian horrors and world-ending threats, makes it even more unsettling. It's like, why do you feel nothing about this?
Yeah.
I don't like that. And in general, articles, for the most part, do not really show their hand. They do not like to explain everything. Basically, you go into SCP knowing you're not going to come away with the full picture of what's happening here. Because in universe, these things don't follow natural law. They wouldn't be containing them if they understood them. And they use a lot of the data expunged, redacted, a lot of different ways to remove information from an article to leave things to the imagination or to accentuate the horror, though that's not as common nowadays. It was especially common in the early days of SCP.
Okay.
SCP started where all good things start, 4chan. It
4chan, the start of so many great things.
Only good things have come.
I was going to say this might be the only good thing that has come from it.
Yeah. But there's a paranormal board on 4chan back in the mid to late 2000s, and randomly, this anonymous user posted this article on there, and the paranormal board, to be clear, was mostly used for, like, creepypasta, what you Jeff the Killer or Slender, the more typical written in prose, first-person narrative, or it's like I played this game and it had my full address. I thought it was just a glitch. And this one comes along, and it's written in this very scientific, technical way, immediately kind of stands out. It's also not perfect. I mean, they say SPC a couple times. They misspell Krylon. It's a random guy posting a horror post on a website. It was not meant to be the start of a large collaborative writing project, but people immediately were like, this is interesting. I like how the tone, I like the scientific detached style. Other people started posting their ideas for SCPs also on 4chan until eventually there were so many that people were like, we need a dedicated place to put them all. And so first, if you want to go to the next slide, they moved to a website called Edit This.
Oh, it looks like a Wikipedia.
Which is very bare bones.
Yeah.
And then they ran out of storage space on Edit This, and so they were like, we're making the jump to Wikidot, which is where they remain to this day. Wikidot is also very bare bones and has all sorts of other fun quirks about it, but it's worked for the most part for the last, I think they made the jump in like 2009, so it's been 16 years or so. The original post was 2007, and I think they made the jump to Wikidot in 2008 or 9. So, immediately, people are like, I want to get in on this. And because it was written by an anonymous user on 4chan, there was no real way to verify authorship.
Yeah.
And so very quickly, it was decided we're going to license everything on the wiki under Creative Commons, which is a license that basically means you can use it in any way you want. You can write anything you want with it under the condition that whatever you write is also Creative Commons.
Very cool.
Yes, it's also known as the share-alike license. Basically, anyone can do whatever they want with it, which also means if you wanted to just print out every SCP article and put them in a book and sell it, you can do that. No one's stopping you. Which is part of the reason why you don't see a lot of SCP, major big budget films, because how do you enforce your copyright when there is no copyright?
Yeah, you can't copyright that. Yeah. Interesting.
But it democratizes the entire concept and all the concepts on the wiki. If you see an idea you like in an article and come up with your own idea, you don't have to go to AO3. You can just immediately take that idea and run with it. Articles also have rating modules, because at first, anything that anyone wrote was just kept on the wiki. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a problem, because not everyone is a great writer, and that's okay. And so there was a lot of crap just in the early days, unfortunately, until eventually they were like, okay, we're going to delete some of these and we're going to add ratings to these. You can upvote or downvote any article you see on the wiki. If it gets down, every article starts at 0. If it goes down to -10, the staff will vote to delete and they'll remove it. I've had 2 different articles deleted off the wiki that I've written. That's just how it goes. Yeah. You just have to kind of develop a thick skin about it and just recognize it's not about you. Yep. It's about the writing.
Yep.
You just have to learn from it.
It's the creative endeavor.
Yes. And it also encourages you to reach out to other authors and get feedback, get critique. There is a big community on Discord and on Wikidot itself for reaching out to other authors and getting feedback, because it's just, you really have to. And the other thing that makes it really, really easy to write for it is there's no canon, really. There's not really any one set of given circumstances that you have to subscribe to. So like I say here, in one canon, because there's a whole idea of test subjects called D-class for disposable, because they need human testing subjects for some things. And so the generally accepted idea is that they're recruited from death row inmates. And in a lot of the original articles, they were just executed at the end of every month, which is wild.
Yeah.
And very quickly, people were like, 1, just needlessly edgy and dark for no good reason. And 2, it's not really logistically possible because there are not that many death row inmates on the planet.
You're going to go through them.
And so a lot of other people have taken the idea. Instead, they wipe their memories every month, what they've seen the last month, so they can reuse them elsewhere, which I still don't love.
No,
but it's people have their own takes on how that all works. Some people don't even have these human test subjects, or if they do, they're not just death row inmates, because good God. SCP could be anything. So again, what's so smart about SCP is that the focus, like the main character of these articles, is the format. It's not any one specific anomaly. It's not anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way it's written. And because of that, you can write it about whatever the fuck you want. And that there's if you have like a genre you like, a type of story you like, there's an SCP about it. There's a toaster that can only be referred to in the first person, so the entire article is written in first person. So it's I am a toaster. I cause people to refer to me in the first person.
No.
There's a jar of toenails where if you remove a toenail clipping, the entire area surrounding the jar is moved backwards in time until the clippings are returned to the jar. There's a bag of potatoes with an endlessly large interior, and then they start to explore this bag, and they find out that there's an entire planet inside that was killed because these potatoes split in two and fill any space they're in, and so they literally smothered the entire planet in endless potatoes. There's an SCP slot that was sold to a holding company that trades abstract concepts. And so the whole article is SCP-2557, a holding of envelope logistics. It's all got these testimonials. It's insane. There's a giant concept that if you become aware that it exists, kills you and anyone who thinks like you. So they can't really investigate it because if they find out about it, it keeps killing them. And so they have one room and it's in all of reality except for this one room. And so one person goes down there a month, and it's like, well, does this person have an idea for how to stop it? No? Oh, well, send them out, wipe their memory. We keep going. Because that's all they could do. There's a transit system that connects millions of universes. And it turns out that the first person who built this train system was doing it to escape from basically an infectious city that was spreading from place to place and is now, because of the train system, spreading across dimensions and converting them into lifeless, weird cities. You got an abandoned hotel, speaking of time travel, which undergoes a time loop, reenacting the 3 days leading up to the fire. If they don't have enough gold at the end of the 3 days to throw into this crack in the middle of the hotel, the crack gets bigger and starts affecting the surrounding area. So the Foundation has to go in and make sure that certain things happen during this 3-day loop so that there's enough gold that they can toss it in the crack and it's happy.
What? That's crazy.
Like I said, it's anything.
I want to know. We're not even near that. This has been so informational because I did not know all this. That's crazy. Awesome.
They could be anything. They could truly, if you have an idea, it could probably be an SCP in some way. And then if you want to go to the next slide, if you don't want to write a clinical thing, you can also write whatever the fuck else you want. You can write prose stories. I've written 3 of them. You can write group of interest formats, because not only are the Foundation there, there's also dozens of other groups, because of course, in a world where the anomalous exists, other groups would find uses for them and try to monetize them or weaponize them or, worship them. And so GOI formats are basically the internal document. Oh, the Nerfing gun is very good, Drac. You've got good taste. Basically internal documents used by other groups. So Ambrose Restaurants is an anomalous. They serve anomalous food. So their format is usually written as like reviews of their specific locations.
Silly question. I might have missed it.
Yes.
What does GOI stand for?
Group of interest.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, any group that's not the SCP Foundation, they consider a group of interest.
Okay.
Someone else who knows about the anomalous. Because they're like, oh, we don't want anyone to know about the anomalous. So we need to keep tabs on this group.
Okay.
There's the Fifth Church, this very new agey religious kind of cult. And they're very hippy-dippy a lot of the time. And so their format is song lyrics. There's Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting, which is a traveling circus group with all sorts of weird, fucked up shit going on. They got clowns that make milk. And I'm
That's a
not making
sentence
it
I
up.
don't hear a lot.
I wish I was making it up, but I'm not.
No, someone else made it up.
And their formats are posters. It's come see the electrifying,
Yeah.
and then beyond just those two, you've also got people posting visual art. People who make comics on the wiki. People will post poetry. I've written one poem for the wiki, but people have posted all sorts of other stuff. People make joke articles, which is a whole other category. If an SCP has -J at the end, it's a joke article, which means it's intentionally trying to make fun of something about the wiki, usually, or parody another SCP. They're very hard to pull off.
Yeah.
Very few people do them well, but when they're good, they can be really good.
That's awesome.
And then, like I said, going back to the idea of canon, this is there's a page on the wiki. It's Canon Hub. It's like central. It says basically the idea that there is no canon is a bit silly at times. It's not that we don't have any, it's that we have a multitude which touch, cross, and dip into each other. It's up to you as the reader to decide what you believe and what you embrace as the heart of the universe. That doesn't mean, though, that authors lack intent or design, and collaboration is the heart of innovation. Basically, it's not that there is nothing that unifies some of these articles.
Mm-hmm.
It's that there's basically infinite. Every single reader is going to have their own canon. And basically, headcanoning things on the wiki is not only permitted, it is like actively encouraged.
Yeah, and you making a canon, it makes it headcanon because it that is how it's structured. Is that
and,
that would
I mean,
be
there's
oh
a lot of there are these specific canons that, not to be confused with canons. It's not confusing. I don't know what the problem is.
No, why would that
be? They are basically their own little set of given circumstances. So a lot of these contradict what most articles have. So Aces and Eights is set in the Wild West. Most SCP articles are not set in the Wild West. It's intentionally saying, hey, this is not meant to be the default. We're doing our own fun little offshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Broken Masquerade. Everyone on Earth becomes aware that anomalies exist. How does the Foundation pivot? What do they need to? How do they change how they operate when one of their main goals, which is secrecy, is out of the question? End of Death. Things can't die anymore for some reason. It gets bad. As you can imagine, death is kind of an important thing in everything. The Gulf is an example of one that's not so much that the circumstances are different. It's more so like this is a tone. This is a style of article. So it's set around the Gulf of Mexico, the American Southeast, mostly just focusing on the people in the Foundation, just more slice of life kind of things. And then Unfounded is maybe the most obvious example of this is irreconcilable with everything else because the Foundation's not there. They don't exist.
Mm.
How does every other group on Earth pick up the slack? What does any other group do in the vacuum? And so this is, like I said, there's infinite canons. It's not that there's none.
Yeah.
It's that there's all these ones that occasionally occasionally intersect, and you as the reader basically can just go through, see an article. If you like it, you're like, okay, well then it's canon. And if you don't, you're like, no,
nah,
I don't think that happened. And that's it. It's that simple. It's really that simple.
That's incredible.
But with all of that said, that's a lot of information. You might be a little overwhelmed, and you might be thinking, where the fuck do I begin? So, start with the guide for newcomers. In fact, I can probably post this in the chat if that is okay.
Feel free. If it bops you, I'll just repost it and then.
Okay. Oh, fake clown milk.
Shut
Hello.
up, kid. Shut up.
Oh, that's amazing.
You guys.
Incredible.
These are so funny.
So yeah, the guide for newcomers was written like 3 years ago, so it's relatively up to date. It'll give you a good idea of like, here's sort of what you can expect from the wiki. Oh, see, I read Wisp's got a question.
No, go for
I
it.
read one of these one time and I was so confused. Is it real? Do people think they're real? Is it a puzzle I'm trying to solve? I couldn't figure out the point, but now it makes sense. Yeah. Most of the people who think it's real are children, especially ones who are not on the website. There's a lot of children on the internet who are Yes.
Just kidding. I can't say I've ever read any of these. I only know the overarching. I've never actually read one, but I just like know very little about. Well, I know a lot more now, but
Sure.
beforehand.
But yeah, it's basically some of them are kind of a puzzle, essentially, but others are just meant to be a good, compelling story. You know, each author's probably gonna end up trying to do a different thing with their articles. So some of them are meant to be like you're very obtuse. You have to look deeper than the first level, and others are just like, I don't know. Here's a cool story about a doctor who like figured out time travel or something. And then after you read the guide for newcomers, I would suggest checking out the genre tagging guide, which I can also post here. That's the same link again. I played myself.
I do that shit all the
time. Because thank God, a couple years ago, they added genre tags to the wiki, which were not there for the first like 15 or so years of its existence.
That long? Oh.
It was a long time, and so if you wanted to find similar in tone, you kind of just had to go to Reddit and be like, other articles like blank question mark, and just hope for the best.
That's crazy.
And thankfully now they have genre tags for basically anything you could think of. Absurdism, bittersweet, slice of life, horror, anything like that. And so if you know what kind of stories you like, you can just go there, click a genre you like, and just be like, oh, okay, here's a bunch of articles like it.
So is it
also,
kind of like an AO? Is it kind of like an AO3, but specifically for SCP, where you can like go through the genres and like you know it's going to be SCP, but it's
essentially yes.
Okay.
I mean, SCP has basically the exact same roots as creepypasta.
Okay,
It is fan fiction. Basically, we're all doing fan fiction of that one guy's post on 4chan.
He better feel loved, by the way.
Yeah, he was on the wiki for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then Itmitten said, is the game control basically about SCPs? My understanding is that Remedy has said they were largely inspired by the SCP wiki. I'm pretty confident that that has been established, that a lot of the writers on that game are aware of and fans of SCP. So yeah, that sort of big underground facility with a bunch of unknowable, unimaginable horrors is very SCP. Yeah, Warehouse 13 plus SCP is a good way to put it. Like I said, it's okay to be confused, because there are some confusing things on this wiki. There are some articles I've read multiple times, and I'm still like, I don't know what just happened, but I know I liked it. I mean, that's just how it goes. A lot of these, especially when you get into certain like the Department of Anti-Memetics, which is all about things that can't be remembered.
Oh.
So how do you research them? How do you document them? Great question.
Stressful.
It gets weird. It gets weird really fast.
Yeah.
And then there's also the matter of some of the articles are like 400 words. Others are 96,000. Like, there is such a wide breadth. And no one is expecting you necessarily to read all the longest ones in one sitting. Like, so there's a lot of complaints on the internet of like, oh, SCP used to be so much better when it was short. It's like, no, brother, you're just not looking for the shorter articles.
Yeah.
Please. Like, there's a whole page, there's a tab on the wiki that is like newest pages short. And you can just click that. And there you go. And again, like I said, if you don't like an article, right. If you don't like an article, you can just be like, I just don't care for it, and just move on. You don't have to be like, well, SCP is dead. Like, no. You can just be like, I don't care for that one.
Be a good person on the internet and not an evil person. Yeah, it's okay if you don't like
especially
things.
the amount of people, especially early on, that were like, it's a really good article, but it doesn't vibe with my canon, I downvoted.
No.
It's like, you could have just not left a vote and
just went somewhere else.
Gone on with your life.
Exactly.
It's not hard.
I feel that a
so
lot.
Much less energy to just not.
Wow. SCP, they're just like me.
And then just basically figure out what you vibe with. Just, there are so many hubs, so many author pages. If you find an author you like, you can probably go to their page and find more of their articles. A lot of articles you'll just randomly find are part of a canon or a series of tales. You can just click over there. But also feel free to branch out, because there really is just something for everybody. Sorry, yes, carry on.
No, you're good. No, I accidentally.
Also,
Oh,
there are so many fan games of this. SCP Containment Breach, I played it a couple months ago again. It came out, I first played it when it came out, and then I just played it again recently. It's still absolutely terrifying. It's so scary. It's so uncomfortable. You have a blink meter, and there are SCPs that can't move unless you're not looking at them. So good luck.
no!
It's so uncomfortable. It's so scary. It's a free download. You can just go to the website and download it. It's an old game that was made on an engine that was also old when it came out. So it's not the most stable thing in the world, but worth it. I guarantee you. SCP Secret Lab is an online asymmetrical multiplayer. It is simultaneously one of the scariest and most riotously funny games I've ever played. It is absurd. When you just have a guy running around as the SCP that can mimic human voices and just playing music over the voice, and you've got this weird scaly fleshy dog playing Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison while it's chasing you.
Shut up.
It's just what great. And especially if you've got a good group of friends. It's like any other asymmetrical multiplayer, or just horror multiplayer, Lethal Company or Peak or anything. It's better with friends. And then SCP-5K, which I have not played yet.
Ooh.
It is not free, unlike the other two. It's still an alpha, but it is based in the universe of one SCP where the Foundation decides to kill everyone. It gets bad. They use, yeah. And so my understanding is that you're playing the survivors of this, people trying to survive the onslaught of the Foundation. There's a lot of people on the wiki who are involved in it, working on writing for it, working on creating assets for it. I've heard basically nothing but good things. So it's like $20 on Steam right now. So, and it's early access, so you'll be able to,
That's really cool.
And then there are so very many people who do things about SCP. Simply Creative People is a fantastic podcast hosted by two authors on the wiki, Grigori Karpin and Harry Blank. They discuss topics related to the wiki. They bring on other authors to talk about, canons that they've created or groups of interest they've created. They'll also talk to offsite content creators, artists, that kind of thing. Find Us Alive is one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to in my fucking life. It is a fiction podcast, one of the only fiction SCP podcasts, set in an SCP that they created, 6320, which ends up being separated from basically the rest of the world. It's stuck in its own little pocket dimension. So everyone in there tries to figure out how to survive. And it gets very emotional and also very funny and also very sad. It's a little bit of everything. It's so good. The Vulgan, if you are more of an audio listener rather than reading, if you like audiobook type stuff more than reading, the Vulgan has consistently the best SCP readings in the business. He will read them verbatim. No added commentary, no waffling about. If you just want to hear the article as is, he will give you a high budget, well done reading of it. The Exploring series doesn't read articles verbatim as much as he talks about an article, breaks it down piece by piece, makes it a little easier to digest if you're not as interested in reading the really dry clinical.
Mm-hmm.
Most of all, just
go read.
Just read them. I guarantee if you look hard enough, you're going to find something you like. There is something on the wiki. I stand by it. There's something on the wiki for everyone. Every genre is represented. Every kind of story is represented. You will find something you like. And I believe that's it. I believe there's one more slide, and that's just me saying the end.
That was so good. Oh my God. I knew of it as an overall idea, but I didn't know really what it was. I think I was kind of like Wisp, where I knew of it, but it still confused me and I didn't quite get exactly what it was, which makes sense because it's kind of everything.
Right. Oh, and it's also
But
just
yeah,
sort of niche. It's just by
yeah.
design.
And I, the most interesting, I didn't realize that there were so many genres of it. Like I thought it was just like all scary, whatever, monster or something
Right.
or other. But no, it
And it
wasn't
definitely
that.
started out that way.
Yeah, yeah,
And but since then, I mean, there's only so much you can do with it, and authors just wanted to do more.
yeah.
And oh
No,
boy, they have done more.
super cool. I also didn't know that it was like common for everyone. So like everyone can write about it and do whatever they want with the. I think
Yeah,
that's actually really, really cool that they did that.
yeah. As long as your writing is up to snuff, you
Yeah,
can write
you can have it
whatever
there.
you want on this website. Really
That's super cool. All right, we'll do some questions. If you guys have questions,
cool.
feel free to ask. What are a few of your favorite SCPs? Drac asks. I love the nerfing gun, of course, but I also love the idea of Cain, Abel, and the literal Abrahamic God being SCPs. It's such a hilarious
Yes,
concept to me.
there are two different sets of articles about Cain and Abel, and then there's at least I know there's one that's the gate guardian to the Garden of Eden. There's one that claims to be God. It gets weird quick.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite article on the wiki is probably SCP 1440. I did a video about it on SCP Book Club, but it is this old man who wanders around in this very precise pattern. He doesn't seem to age. He doesn't seem to hunger anything. If he's around any sort of man-made anything, it will start to degrade as he's around it, eventually collapsing or being destroyed entirely. Which is a problem because his path sometimes takes him into major metropolitan areas. And so they basically have to try to keep him away. And we ended up finding out, essentially, he played a game of cards for his life and won. And so death as punishment was basically
Oh,
like, oh, you want life? You got life. You can't die,
but you're
but
stealing it
you'll
from
never be
others,
able to
kind of
be
thing.
around anybody again.
Oh, that's
Um,
crazy. Thinking
yeah,
about
it's
stuff.
based on a Russian folk tale, The Soldier in Death, which is also a very interesting folk story. They talked about it on The Storyteller. Um, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Someone said, did we cover what SCP stands for? Yes.
Yes.
On the website, generally it's Secure, Contain, Protect. But then also in the articles, it'll say Special Containment Procedures, which is the other. It's both, really.
Okay.
Um,
And then
with the
Timbo
common
says,
rule
yeah. With the common rule
to
with
all
all
entries,
entries, is it required, expected to connect with original authors to use or reference their entries?
it depends because not every article is going to be based directly on another article. Generally, if you are using someone else's concept, you're going to want to give credit for it, but you're also allowed to twist it really any way you want, as long as it's not just, this idea sucks.
Yeah.
Like, um,
You got to be
as
respectful
long
of
as you're
it.
as long as you're using an idea in a way that you find interesting and are passionate about, I think basically every author on the wiki is going to be cool with that.
Yeah.
And if they're
Okay.
not, then they're frankly writing on the wrong website. Um,
Let's
my
see.
Me and my bestie want to run an SCP themed LARP.
Oh,
Have
that'd be
you read
fun.
every? Oh, good God, no. Oh God, absolutely not. There are almost 9,000 of
Do
them
you
at
plan
this
to
point.
try to keep up? Damn,
No,
it's surpassing One Piece,
no,
bro.
no, no. I don't. I don't. It's not possible. And there's other languages branches. Other
Oh
language
my
groups have
gosh,
their
yeah.
own
It's
wikis.
like
And
worldwide, obviously.
oh yeah, it's super
It's
interesting to see
huge.
other countries integrate their folklore into
Yeah.
SCP as well.
Oh, I didn't even think
Um,
about that.
yeah, there's almost 9,000. I almost said over 9,000 SCP articles. There's also all the other tales. There's group of interest formats. There's no way to read it all. It's just not
No.
possible. How do the clowns make milk? Go
Milky
read
Clown did shut the
go hang on, I'll
Yeah,
post a
which
link
one
to
is
Herman
that?
Fuller's circus.
Yes, please do.
Here we go.
You go read about the clown milk and then you report back Milky Clown did again.
Okay, there you go. Knock yourself out. Go
I
crazy.
can't stand
Um,
y'all.
are the clowns hot? It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. It really is up to you, you know? This has
Definitely.
genuinely
Have
been
you
very
seen
interesting. As someone with a learning disability, I've always been interested in SCP stuff, but never been able to fully get into it because of how complex it is. So this has helped me understand a lot.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm very happy to hear that. All I want is to just indoctrinate more people into reading SCP. That's
It
really
was
my end
this.
goal.
I'm upset with you because of that, because I was like, damn it, now I actually have to like look into it because it sounds so interesting. And I didn't know that there were so many genres. I thought it was kind of all on the same pace, all on the same beats and stuff, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize how
Right.
varied it is. I think like
Oh yeah.
I knew the creatures themselves were like varied, but I didn't know that even just like the writing
Yeah.
itself was so
Well, and
across the board. That's
that's the thing.
awesome.
Early on, it was just like, here's a thing that does a thing, and
Yeah.
now it can be. It's a location, it's a period of time, it's a
Hmm.
person, it's a place, it's a thing, it's anything. Um, Someone said, "What's your favorite 001 proposal?" My personal. Oh yes, that I didn't even get into that because we simply do not have time. Um,
We
it's 001 is
do
a
not
whole
have
other can
time.
of worms.
I guess that's the next
Basically,
presentation. Just kidding.
there's not just one. Basically, originally they thought it was. I guess I'm getting into it. They people were like, the 001 slot's so important. We're gonna have people propose what they think should go in there,
Okay.
and then we'll decide what the best one is. And eventually they were just like, no, fuck that. Let's just have all the proposals as their own
As their
thing.
own different things.
Um,
Okay.
and so there are now over like 50 of them, and
Wow.
basically all of them are bangers.
That's
A lot of them
incredible.
have to do with the origin of the Foundation or the origin of the anomalous. Others just do their own thing completely. My personal favorite is "A Good Boy" is the name of the article. The Foundation makes a machine that is supposed to help with containment, and it does until it eventually is like, well, the best way to contain things is to just neutralize all these things. And so it just slowly starts removing everything anomalous from existence until there's just like nothing left, and the Foundation just has no purpose anymore. Um, and then someone else,
Kippy.
I'm trying to answer them.
Yeah,
Is this a
no.
fever dream?
You're good.
Yes. Have I seen the SCP Backrooms game? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. I've seen a couple of the Backrooms games, but I don't know what specific one. Uh,
And then let's
um,
see.
isn't the Soldier of Death based on the old Slavic? I don't know. It very well could be. Um,
Quick question. Since
uh,
Massachusetts is an SCP used to contain other anomalies, does that mean that Tom Brady is an SCP?
I wouldn't be surprised if someone has made a Tom Brady yet. Someone made a George W. Bush SCP, so it's possible. Um, but it's from an alternate universe where he's the manager of baseball and he kills people by looking at them.
Obviously.
Obviously. Um,
How many SCP articles have you written? Do you know?
I have written 3 that are still on the wiki.
Yes. Okay, cool.
I guess I can post the numbers here.
Yeah, feel free. I would love
Um,
to check it out. And also feel free to drop your channel where you cover it and everything too.
yes, yeah, I'll post the link
Please,
to
please, please.
the book club.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wrote these 3 articles. They are about as different as the articles can be. And then book club, book club, book club. I'm gonna post it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna
Yeah,
find
no,
it.
you're good.
Book club.
I was
Book
actually,
club.
while listening to this, Drac, I was like, I wonder if Drac has written anything because it feels very much you. You would enjoy this kind of stuff,
Um,
I figured.
so yeah, the playlist link there is. I have a series called SCP Book Club. Like I said at the start, I break down SCP from a literary analysis perspective because I felt like there was kind of a dearth of that, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about what makes them work as pieces of literature, as
Yeah.
pieces of writing, because it's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's not really much precedent for like an entire work of collaborative fiction written in this very scientific, clinical way.
Yeah.
So what makes them effective?
Okay, everyone in chat, go to that playlist and subscribe to the channel because that's what we fucking do here, okay? And
Well,
then also
thanks.
watch, duh. But go subscribe.
You.
That it's very cool. You have a lot of knowledge, and again, you broke down something that could be very, very complicated, obviously, in a very simple way for those who
Um,
don't know what the fuck's going on. It's very good.
yes.
Do the numbers
Do the
have
numbers
special
have
meaning?
special
Oh,
meaning?
go for it.
So not really. Essentially, if an article is written within a series of thousands, it's probably from one general stretch of time. It started out, it was just the first thousand, so 001 to 999. They do a contest every thousand for what article is going to get the thousand slot because it's a popular slot, and
Yeah.
people are gonna, as soon as they join the wiki, they're gonna go, "What's SCP 1000, 2000, 3000?" And then I lost my train of thought. Oh fuck.
No, you're good.
Oh shit. But within a series, it's just first come, first serve. So you can just go in and pick a number you like, which is what I did for mine.
As long as it's not taken.
Correct.
Perfect.
And if you're participating in the 1,000 contest, and you don't end up winning, you usually will post your second or third choices for a number slot.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
people will go for 6,500
Yeah.
or 6,999, just because they're big,
Obvious. Yeah.
scary numbers.
There will be a VOD, Mary. Yep. I'm keeping it up.
But now they're on Series 9, which is the 8,000s. I believe the 9,000 contest is coming in a month or two at this point because there's less than 100 slots left.
Wow.
We've been going at a rate of like 30 SCP slots being filled every month for the last year or so, which is crazy. But then we just had a ton filled because there was a contest called Classic Con, which was 1,000-word maximum, no fancy formatting, has to be horror focused. And that filled a ton.
That's
of
so
stuff.
cool.
There were like over 100.
I didn't realize that it was such like a large. Yeah, feel free to plug stuff. Yeah, go for it.
No, sorry, I just realized I've been going for like 45 minutes.
Oh my god, no, it was interesting. You're fine, you're fine. And I mean, LBC's here and says that is so cool. So like still participating. So I think we're good. But yeah, no, very awesome. Thank you. We will definitely. I'll be looking at a lot of this when I have time to just like scroll through things because I've never like dove into any of this. So thank you for this. Yeah. This has been so interesting.
It's so easy to just fall into a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Especially because so many articles just have links to other articles, and so you're like, it's the full Wikipedia effect of just like, oh, well, I have to read that one first to understand. Oh, what's this one?
Yeah, it's a nice rabbit hole to go down. And I didn't know it was so collaborative. I knew that there was like multiple people writing about it, but I didn't know it was so like anyone. So that's
like thousands of authors.
Yeah, that's so sick. So thank you so much for presenting. And obviously, if you guys have more questions, you're in the Discord, you're everywhere. But make sure you go to that channel. We support each other here. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
I had a good time.
Yay. See ya.
See ya.
Dude. This has been so fun. I'm having so much fun.